So it is our weekly pack call. And I know we've already started with some shout outs, but who else has them that they want to share?
I have another one I want to share. I want to shout out Kayla for like really taking super good care of her team, whether they are personally enrolled or they've been placed underneath her. She knows where every single person in her organization is in training, what they're doing. Like she is super on top of all of it. And I don't even have to worry about anybody underneath her, their customers, anything. Like she's got it all handled.
Such a blessing. Thank you, Kayla. Welcome, Michelle Lynn, to your first pack call. Yay. And I know that there's a lot of new faces on here, so welcome you guys. And just so you guys know, you don't have to unmute anytime during this call. If you don't have your camera on, you can turn it off. We want to make sure that you feel comfortable. I'm going to talk about Candace real quick because she signed a customer off of TikTok, you guys. And she's got another one in the works. And she just barely started using it consistently February 13th. Just from like seeing what other people are doing, stealing their sound bites, recreating it. And she's already got how many, like 500 followers, just about?
I've got 2 on the hook right now from TikTok, plus the one I signed.
Yeah. And so I'm just super proud of her for just jumping right in. And she's also handling her team's complaints. And what did we listen to? A couple of us listened to a podcast or something, and it said, or no, it was on the Diamonds and Above call. And it said that when your team stops coming to you for problems, then that's when they don't see you as a leader. And so the fact that they were going to Candace for their problems and not me, I was like, this is incredible. And Candace didn't know all the answers, but she was like messaging me, but they saw her as a leader. And so like, I just super appreciate that. And I do have to call on Mandy because Mandy sent me a Marco that wasn't easy and explained to me how she was feeling. And we were able to like work through and have a conversation, you guys. And like communication is key. Like if you're not communicating like how you're taking things, or like, you know, sometimes we take things in a way that was never meant to be, or, you know, vice versa, based on our day, based on their day, or maybe they just really have no idea of how you're feeling. And so having those open, honest conversations are hard, but that's honestly what allows growth to happen. And so shout out to Mandy for calling me out and for voicing her concerns and stuff. So I'm proud of her for that. Anybody else?
I want to shout out my team. We are rocking it. We're pushing. We are, we hashtag ourselves the Pack Dreamers Go Triple.
And you guys are killing it. And I think that's just because you're the leader and you know where you're taking them, you know what they need, and you're helping to always keep new ideas on the table and keep them just completely riled up. So you guys are doing amazing. All right, anybody else?
So Jalen is on, but she can't hear anything. And she said that her volume's all the way up.
Yeah, I just sent her a message. She needs to connect to the internet audio. Oh, there, now it's connected. Hello, Jalen. We're glad that you got it figured out. Perfect. Okay. So a couple of announcements before we have Ashley Sinclair. So Ashley Sinclair, you guys, she's been in the business for a really long time, and she's hilarious and she's amazing. And so you guys, it's gonna be so much fun tonight. And I know parts of her story, but I'm sure what Kelly Jo has like question wise to ask her is just really, really gonna just help us get to the next level, which is honestly what we need. And I'm so grateful for Kelly Jo for setting up this. And I mean, like Merlane set somebody up. Mandy's got somebody in the works. Lonnie's working on somebody. So if you guys know of somebody who is killing it in the business that we can get on a pack call to help us, then definitely reach out to me and we can schedule them in. Okay. But I want to make sure that you guys have a paper pencil ready to go. So then that way you can take some notes, and always, make sure that you're dropping questions in the chat, and Kelly Jo will kind of filter through them and make sure that we get all of them answered. So as she's going through and telling her story, any questions that pop up, make sure that you drop them in the chat. Okay. Oh, and I did want to shout out Christina. She signed 2 distributors, and Christina's like the silent distributor enroller. She enrolls so many distributors. It's insane. So shout out to you, Christina. I wanted to do that. So I'm glad that you're here in the chat. So anyway, okay, back to focus. So before she gets on with us, I want to do just a couple of announcements. So the first, go ahead, Kelly.
She's on. Obviously, we can do our announcements, but I just wanted to let you know that she's on.
Oh, perfect. And so you'll get to give her a better introduction. But first thing, you guys, I want to make sure that you guys are all part of one of the host to post giveaways. Okay, so Kelly Jo's going to drop the link. If you signed February 25th or after, it's your first month freebie, so you don't have to pay anything. But if you've been in the business longer than a month, then it's just $5, and you just need to fill out that form. So make sure that you have that done, so that way you don't get removed from the group, or you get added to the group before you need to put the names in. And then Kay Dixon does one, and on Monday, you guys, we're giving away $1,000, and I got to post that on my page the other day, and I just can't even imagine if one of my people wins this $1,000, like how happy and excited they are. And my post has over 50 comments on it, with people who drop the times, that way they could get entered. And so if you guys are looking for something that changes every week, something bigger, something different, then you can also join hers. Hers is $15, and we do a new giveaway every Monday, which is really nice. Okay. And then the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is TikTok. For the love, if you're not using it, please start using it. I know that it's uncomfortable. I am Black and I have no rhythm. Okay. I have no dance skills. I cannot pop my hip on the beat. I don't drop. Raina's like laughing. I don't drop it like it's hot, like nothing. I have no rhythm dance. If you guys see me do a dance, it's because it's in 3 times speed. It's like slow. And I'm like, boom, boom. I literally write it on my whiteboard what my dance moves are. Okay. Like just laughing. This is fact, you guys. If I can do TikTok, you can do TikTok. Okay. And we made a TikTok group on Telegram. And basically anytime we make a TikTok, we just post our words and we post the link. So then that way you can go and get the sound bite and you can just recreate it. Okay. Yeah. So please just start with TikTok. Candace is signing 2 people from it today. You know, it works. That's how people are mass enrolling. We need to step outside of our comfort zones. So just try it. There's no judgments on TikTok. I promise. There's people way worse off than what you're going to be doing on there. And that's just fact. Okay. So make sure that you join Kelly Jo. You guys see me dancing real quick. Oh, geez. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm so excited to hear from you, Kelly Jo, and Ashley Sinclair. Welcome. I'm going to make you the host, Kelly Jo, and or the co-host, and that way it can help you with the muting and stuff. But here we go, you guys.
Hello, you guys. I am so excited to introduce Ashley. I remember the first time that I heard of Ashley Sinclair was 4 years ago at conference. She was on the white couch, and I remember her grabbing the mic and saying, I don't know why they would ever let me up here, but she was hilarious. She had us all rolling. Oh my gosh. And I just thought, this woman is my person. Like, I love her. So I know she's been in the business 9 or 10 years. I couldn't find it. 9. Okay. I couldn't find it. I was like, it's 9 or 10 years. I went back through all your TikToks because I knew there was one where you said I just got my 110th check. And I'm like, okay, so it's a little bit over 9 years now. But she is so funny, and she was a boutique owner, and she's a mom of 2 girls. She's a wife. She lives in Texas, and she seriously is amazing. She's an ambassador diamond, and really, you guys, she always makes me feel, even just through her posts or her TikToks. We did like a marriage course together where Ashley taught us all about how to have a really good, like great marriage, not just a good marriage. And she always just makes me feel like I'm her best friend. And like, if she can do things, I can do them too. And so I am so excited to have her tell us a little bit about her story. So Ashley, if you'll just give us like a quick little version of your story, like 5-10 minutes before it works, and then like what life looks like now. And then we'll get into some questions that we have for you.
Well, for sure. Well, first of all, hi, and thanks for that welcome. Like, I hope it's recorded so I can just replay it in the morning and like come out, like just get out of bed all hyped to what Kelly just told. So thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm super pumped to be talking to you guys and with you guys tonight, and just sharing a little bit about, you know, what this company has meant to me, the ways, not just the the ways it's changed my life. But honestly, my main prayer before I get on any Zoom is that you'll see how it can change your life. Because me sitting here talking about how awesome the business has been for me doesn't do very much for you, right? So I want to help you earn your 110th paycheck and be just as excited. I didn't know it was possible to be this excited 9.5 years into the business, but I am. I love it so very much for all different reasons, even than when I started. But I started probably like a lot of you. I had a friend send me a message on Facebook, and it was about 743 paragraphs long. So I got to the end of the message and just immediately thought, my poor friend from junior high that I knew for about 7 minutes, like, I feel so bad for her that she got in one of those pyramid schemes. How sad for her. I thought there's no way I have the time. There's no way I have the extra money. But something kept me coming back. So I deleted the message. This was before Facebook gave you the bubble head where you could, where you could see that people had read it. So I deleted the message and was just going to pretend like I didn't get it. Who, me? I never got that. I don't know what you're talking about. And 2 weeks later, the short version of this story, is I was telling my mother-in-law that this crazy girl I hadn't talked to on, since 8th grade sent me this random Facebook message and is selling fat patches. And she goes, a fat patch? And I said, yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's cold and wet and you put it on your stomach and it tingles. And then it apparently, I don't know, it apparently makes you tone, tighten, and firm up things or makes you skinny. I don't know. And she goes, oh, I want one just like that. And I went, well, crap, I do too. I want one too. And if I want one, think of how many other people want one probably. So anyway, long story short, I decided to message her back and just go, hey, sorry, I've been so busy, but tell me about this. And 45 minutes later, you guys, she had my social security number and my credit card. And I owned a store for 8 years, and I walked out of my office to the front, and I told the girls that worked for me, I was like, well, I guess we're going to start selling fat patches now. They were like, what is it? No clue. What does it do? I don't know. How does it work? No clue. How do we make money? No clue. Don't know what I'm doing. We're just going to give this a shot. And, that's step one, right? Is giving over your $99. For me, it was $199. My first distributor joined for $99, but it was actually $199. And then they ran a promotion the day after I joined. So any of you that, sign those people up for $99 and then like the promotions, don't feel bad. I'm here and it's all good. I would have paid, looking back now, I would have paid hundreds of thousands to join the business had I only known what it was going to do. But so 9 days in, I was sitting there, I decided to finally do my training and open up, that they used to have probably like we do our units now. They had something really similar. I kind of felt like I was taking defensive driving. And I remember sitting there with my old Dell laptop and I was nursing Audrey. She was 3.5 months old and Grace was watching the Mickey Mouse Club and doing the goofy dance to the hot dog, hot diggity dog. You know what I'm talking about, moms. And I will never forget Pam saying how we make money and talking about cabs and the 80, 80, 80, 80. And I will never forget the way that my brain exploded. And I always tell everyone that there is a moment in this business that when things actually click with you, we talk a lot about vision, that it was that simple for me. I saw something bigger than just a few $100 a month, which was what I thought. Like, oh, I'll just bring this product into my store. I'll sell a little on the side, but I'm not going to build it as a business. Like, I'll never sign a distributor. I'll never go that route. But I think there's this moment for all of us. And if it hasn't happened to you yet, my gosh, I hope it happens really soon, where you just understand, wow, this is bigger than me. This is bigger than just signing up for $99. And so I had that moment of clarity. I don't know what else to say, except I just knew in my bones, I was in the right place at the right time with the right company. And I looked over at my husband and I was like, I'm about to make us $1 million. Like, just watch. And he goes, that's cool. Can you just make us lunch? Like, he didn't have the same brain cell for the business that I did. And so you guys, I got on the phone that day. I just started texting people from my BlackBerry. I just started texting people and saying, hey, I'm about to go make $1 million with this new company. Do you want to come with me or not? Be like, what is it? No clue. How does it work? No clue. Have you tried the product? No, not at all. What does it do? No clue. There might be crack in it. I don't know. You want to try it with me? Like, let's see what happens. I just kind of always had this, like, the right people will join, that passion and that excitement made people say yes. And definitely there was people that said no, but man, there was just so many people that were like, well, you sound so excited about it. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Right. And so that really kind of began my journey, you guys. And 7 months later, I went ambassador, and I always tell people that within those 7 months, like 3 things really happened that changed the trajectory of my life forever. The first one was my mind expanding, right? I feel like you have to have that in your business at some point or another. You have to find this, this reason why you're doing this. And not just that, but you have to have your vision be expanded in your mind. Your brain has to develop like this cell for, wow, I can do more than what I ever thought I could. And when that happened, like once that happens, you guys, your brain can't shrink back down. It just can't. That's not how God created us. So like once my mind knew what it could do, there was no stopping me, you know? And that was more than, I would say, half the battle, way more than half the battle. The second thing was I just got to work. I combined that vision and that belief and that excitement with action. Nobody had to tell me what to do. I failed. I did dumb stuff. I spent way too much time creating way too many things that didn't make me any money. You know, but I worked my tail off. And then the third thing was a little bit of luck. I think that there's a little bit of luck involved in this business, favor, luck, blessing, whatever you want to call it. But the universe, however you choose to look at it, I feel like God just kind of lined some things up. There was some people that ended up in the perfect places on my chart that, yes, I mean, I definitely still would have gotten to ambassador, no doubt, but it happened in the time frame that it did, because I forgot to move some people, right? And this one girl that I forgot to move under another girl that I was building, I just had a brain cell for Prez, not ambassador yet, you know, and she ended up going double diamond in like 2.5 months. And so that was part of what made things click so fast. So there you go. There's my story and the hopefully three takeaways from it. Hard work, big belief, tiny bit of luck and favor.
Yes, I love that. Holy cow, you are amazing. Guys, drop some ones if you are like fired up. Like I just have like all the chills. What are your success habits? Like what would you feel like are the things that you do every day that really help set you up for success?
Well, I think the number one thing is I'm a highly emotional person, can be very dramatic. I am very much run by my feelings, but then I have this whole other weird, almost like testosterone male driven side to me that's like super just like, we got a task, we got to get it done, and I'm very success driven. And so I don't know, but somehow that combination works for me. So the issue that I fight every day that a lot of you probably fight, it's not negative, it's just something we've got to kind of overcome a little bit, is that I don't feel like it. So to me, my success habit that I know has created such an incredible business for me has been, whether I feel like it or not, I work, I show up. And so that's probably the number one tip I could give anybody that's listening on here, is if you wait until the motivation happens, you're never going to get anywhere. There was so many nights, it would be 11, 12 o'clock at night, and my husband would fall asleep. I'd hear the first snore, and then I would like ninja roll out of bed and like army crawl to the closet to work till 2 or 3 in the morning. Not because I wanted to, like I love sleep. But it was just that important to me, that desire and that motivation to succeed in the business and to bring as many people along the ride with me as I could, outweighed how I was feeling on any given day. And so I feel like that's probably the number one success tip, if that's what you're asking. I hope it is. P.S. Your face, you look so good. You have lost so much weight. You look so good. You're like super slim. Okay, like a cheekbone. I see you.
Thank you. You're a doll
I don't know
face.
what you're doing. Contouring. I don't know, but you look fab.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, so I love your success tip. Yeah. Like just kind of do whatever it takes. And even if that is sacrificing the things that we love, like sleep or whatever it is. And I know we've talked about this before of like, there's not necessarily that like perfect balance in life. Like you can't have that perfect balance. It doesn't exist, but you can do things well, and you can do the things, and you can still have your family. Like I know that you're still your family is a big part of your life, and then your businesses as well. And you just have meshed the two really well. So how do you ensure that your systems are duplicatable, or that you can get your team like tuned into them? Because I feel like we have some really good systems, but getting our team some time to buy into those systems and like follow along with us isn't always the easiest thing for us to do. So what are some tips, or what are some things you do?
I don't know that it's necessarily something that we've got figured out, because that's always going to be the name of the game, right? Is like how to duplicate. I mean, we can teach people how to enroll all day long, but I don't want to be a master enroller. I want to be a master duplicator. I would rather sign up 6 people this year that all go triple diamond than I would sign up 60 and barely get some rubies, right? So to me, it's not so much about the number as it is about duplication. And I feel like that starts from the very beginning. And just, I know all I can do is tell you what I do personally. Whether or not this duplicates all throughout my team, I know a lot of my leaders are the same way. But we're just very big on the upfront. I feel like so much of what we do is done before somebody even goes in the system, and like that mindset that we kind of create happens before they even go in the computer. So I do not and will not post things like, if you could wear a cute It Works shirt, and if you could wear some cute gear and post on your phone 20 minutes a day and get paid, would you do it? I mean, like, that sounds great, but that's not what we do. I think it's laughable to post things like that, because here's the deal. You'll get people in the computer, but they will be gone. They will be like in the door and right back out. It's like a revolving door when you set people up that way for this, like, it's so simple and there's nothing to it and you just post once a day and everything. Like, no, so for me, I used to pull in way bigger numbers with that style. And that kind of was a trend for a little bit. And then I started realizing, like, wait a minute, what am I doing? I remember one year I signed up like 105 distributors in a year, which to me is pretty great, solid numbers, right? And I just remember thinking, I think one of them went diamond and she had been on my team before. She wasn't even a new person. So I was like, that doesn't even really count. Now I had built other diamonds, but I mean, as far as someone doing the work themselves, and I realized what I was doing was so much of my language, and I was just wanting people to go on the computer so fast. I don't think I was setting them up for success. And so from the very beginning, first of all, I want to establish that trust with them that, look, one of the first things I'll tell anybody is, I don't make $1 unless I help you make money. So trust me when I tell you, if I'm telling you to do any of this stuff, it is because I want you to make money as fast as possible. And so I've even lately been telling people, like, here's the deal. Do you want the chill track, or do you want the fast track to making money? I'll just ask them. And 95% of people are like, well, I want the fast track. I'm like, all right, well then here's what's up. You need to listen to me. You need to repeat exactly what I'm doing. You need to save everything in your notes. Because here's the deal. I know we make it easy with boards. Tamika, I have so many of your boards and I'm so thankful for all of them. And like, I know that, but I also know at the very beginning of the business, they've got to take some ownership. So even telling them, like, save this in your notes. I'll teach them about boards later. I want to know, do I have somebody that will even like freaking copy and paste what I'm going to tell them? Right. So I think just setting people up from the very beginning. Number one, you got to trust me. I know what I'm doing. I'm where I'm at for a reason, and I want to help you get there too. Number two, do you want the fast track or the chill track? I don't call it slow. I just say chill. You want the chill track or the fast track? And then I think the other thing that is huge is starting people. And this is one thing my team does really well right out of the gate, is we just start people on host to post. We don't come up, I'll still see people say, what's that best first post? There is no great best first post to put out there. I really think the best first post to put out there is, if you could chew 2 gummies a day and lower your BMI, would you want to? Like, to me, that's the best post, right? Message my friend Ashley, drop an emoji and my friend Ashley will contact you. Because then what I'll do with my new DTs is then they're in a group chat immediately with me. So when their mom comments, when their friend comments, I tell them, put me in a group chat, and then you're going to be copy and pasting everything. And so they'll make the introduction, and there we go. So, I mean, even just showing them host to post off the bat has been huge in helping them get those wins ASAP. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it definitely did. I love that. And I love your chill track versus your fast track. Like, I think that's a good question. And Tamika and I had just talked the other day about sometimes we are afraid to tell them, and sometimes we tell them like everything, like we go overboard. And so I think there is like that line. And sometimes I think like we're even afraid to say like, this is it works, or, but like, why not be proud of that and tell them what they're getting into rather than holding back any of that. So I love that. And I love starting with host to post immediately, because you're right. There is no great like magic first post, but we all know that host to post works and is duplicatable, and we know that they can get customers from it. So that's great. If you could give yourself advice, we have a lot of new people on this call actually. And so if you could give yourself some advice from when you first started, what do you think you would tell yourself?
Okay. The first thing that comes to mind, several, so many things. Two things that come to mind right off the top of my head. Number one, if it doesn't duplicate, stop doing it. I wish someone, maybe, I think people did tell me that, but I didn't listen. I was like, yeah, but I have the best way. Be like, well, but it's not the way to make money. And I'd be like, yeah, but it's the best way because it's my way. So that, I think if I could go back, I would like drop the ego a bit and not feel like that my way was the best way. I will never forget Pam saying, I get why you're doing that, but your team can't do it. And there was this big moment where one of my girls that had said she was going to sign up her sister, I was following up and I was like, hey, you haven't signed up your sister yet. Like, what's going on? She goes, oh, I will. I get paid on Friday. I have to go to Walmart and make one of those binders that you made me. And it was one of those moments where it was like, okay, what I'm doing works, because I used to like print out and do all these binders and they had tabs and it was green and they were fabulous, right? And then all of a sudden she was like, well, I can't sign up my sister because I don't have the money to go to Walmart to buy the binder to get that. And I don't have toner in my, I don't have ink toner in my printer yet. I mean, that kind of thing. And I went, okay, it was one of those full, look in the mirror moments. So that would be the number one thing. And there's so many great ideas that we can come up with and so many strategies. And I'm not saying that you should curb your creativity in any way. What I'm saying is if it doesn't duplicate, you should really think twice about doing it, because the name of the game in this business is not enrolling, it's duplicating. The name of the game in this business is having a level like 48. That, like the goal is that it doesn't stop with you, is that you don't have 700 people on your top line and they've all got a few people. The goal is that there's just insane depth in your team for new leaders to be able to rise up. And so that would be the very first thing, would be if it's not duplicatable. I know that's a word we've made up, but stop doing it. I think the second thing I would say is stop chasing balance. Balance doesn't exist in any, I don't think it's possible for an extended period of time. I should say, you may have a day or two that's good. I instead chase peace. Like that's my goal. I just want peace. I want to know that, I want to know when I've laid my head down at night that like God's going, good job, kid, you did it. Like, good job, And I also want to know that I can say that for myself. I want to know that not just the things on my list all got done necessarily, but that just I gave what I had that day. And we all know that some days we have got 100% to give, and some days we've got like 46%, right? And so it's knowing that what I had to give that day, that I gave it, and then that I'm okay with it. That there's always going to be extra things on the to-do list that aren't done. So my measure of success, I think, is just so different now than it was at the beginning. My measure of success was only my paycheck. My measure of success was, did I get an enrollment? My measure of success was, just not things now that are now as important to me. Now it's like, did my kids feel loved today? Did I do a good job making sure my husband felt respected and cared for? Did I, this whole like just hustle and grind, like just make it work. And I mean, I was there and I did that for years, and I am so much happier now. You can ask anybody on my team. They barely recognize me, I think, the last couple of years. And it's not that my red personality is gone, because trust me, I still hustle, but I'm just as passionate about taking a breath. And I'm just as passionate about what good is it to make 50 grand a month if you can't even freaking enjoy it, So there you go. That's probably the other thing I would say is like, find that measure of success that's right for you and stop comparing it to everybody else's. Because that's what I was doing. I was comparing, what success looked like to all these other people at various points in their business, not knowing everything that was going on in their life. I remember there was this, and this is years ago, you guys wouldn't know her, but I remember there was this girl that I just constantly compared myself to, constantly, and never just constantly compared myself to her. And they have had their house foreclosed on, went through a divorce. She went through a divorce, like, her stuff going on with her kids, just mental health and like all that. And I just look at that and go, here I was like wanting so badly what this person had. and they're not even in the business anymore. They didn't, all those things that we see. So but I judged myself by her measure of success for a while. So I would just be really careful for that, about that, not for that, about that, wrong preposition, about that, about doing that.
I love that. Love that. Love that. And that comparison game can be so dangerous, but that's exactly right. Like, we don't know what's really going on with somebody. On the outside, it might look like everything's good, but we have no idea. All right. And this one, if you don't want to talk about this, you don't have to, but I know we have a lot of newbies, but we always have people that we also have people that have been in for a while, and some of them have lost rank.
Okay.
And so if that's ever happened to you, or if you know anybody that it's happened to, how do you build back, and how do you keep pushing without that comparison game and giving up?
Okay. I think I heard you. Was it staticky, or is it it's my, okay, it wasn't just my connection. Okay. You got a little staticky on me, Kelly. Okay. I think you said building back. How do you build back if people have lost rank? Well, I mean, you keep going, you reroute, you use an eraser. I always tell people, never write your chart in pen. Get a big old fat eraser and get really comfortable with it. I don't know. I just look at this business so differently than I used to. To me, it doesn't feel like rebuilding. It just constantly feels like I'm building something new. So, okay, that Ruby didn't work out. Now I got to build a Ruby. I don't look at it like I've got to rebuild something. I look at it like I'm just constantly building, and that's less exhausting to me. Some people, you may find it better. I think however your brain works best is how you should think of it. But I feel like for a lot of us, it would serve us well to not feel like ambassador is the end game. Because trust me, I got to ambassador in 7 months. Like, I had to have something else keep me going. And they didn't have a 2.0 when I started, or I guarantee you I would have been a double ambassador. Because right after I went ambassador, signed up a couple people that went ambassador. So, well, close to ambassador. So, I had to find that thing that was deeper than just, I want to get to ambassador. So I just kind of always from the beginning felt like, this is what I do. I build teams, I build new leaders. So I think if you look at it like that, that's just a totally different mindset, and it doesn't feel so exhausting. Because to me, if I think about rebuilding, I think of negative things like rubble and debris and dirt, and like I got to clear crap out and, like start fresh. And I don't know, I just look at it like I'm always building, oh, she didn't work. That's okay. Let's erase that name. Let's move a new name up. And that's part of what I love. I'm so crazy passionate about our new charts. I think they're genius. Because it got rid of a lot of the fluff, right? Like even that little executive, I mean, how many of us were building, the 300-400 boxes, and then the executive legs, and I just felt like we were constantly having to refill, dead boxes. And with this, being able just to kind of like, I look at it like, okay, we just slide them out of the way and I'm moving the next brick up. And so it doesn't feel like this big rebuilding thing. So I think part of it is mindset and how you're looking at it, and knowing that you're always going to be building. I mean, you get to ambassador, guess what? You're going to build again. I mean, there's people at double ambassador, guess what? You build again, because stuff still falls apart. Like, people are people, and they are always going to find a reason to leave, find a reason to quit, find a reason to pause, find a reason to make excuses. Like, that's what people do. Why are we surprised by that? That's not that's not new to It Works or the network marketing. Like, that's biblical. That's been around since God created man, right? We just screw up, we mess up, we walk away when we shouldn't. Like, we do all kinds of things that are dumb. And so I don't feel like we should be surprised in those moments with our business. Like, I just don't let them derail me. Or I think other people have been like, it's all over. And I'm like, what are you freaking kid? Fine, you go think it's over. I'm gonna get your people over here on my team. So I don't really think like that, but sometimes I do.
All right. Love that. Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Nope. It's actually worse.
Can you hear me better now?
No.
No. Tamika has a question in the chat.
Okay.
What would you say are your tips for building leaders? Because you build them so fast.
I don't know about that. Tips for building leaders. It's something that I'm constantly wanting to work on. Like, I mean, that's my heart and my goal. I think a couple of things come to mind is community is huge. I mean, I have so many people that the amount of life that has happened to them, I think would knock them out if it were a different business or if it were a different job. but because of the community, because of the friendship and the bond that's kind of been created there, like never underestimate the value of a relationship within this business. And I had a wall up for a long time because I had a big group that left in like 2016. And you just talk about ripping. My heart literally was just ripped out. It felt like my high school boyfriend when he broke up with me. So, big mistake, big mistake. And so I just feel like a lot of those, like I think back on those moments and that like heartache and that hurt. And I really just put up a ton of walls and went, okay, don't build relationships the same way that you did. And so then I wanted to spend some time like kind of being closed off into myself. And I'll never forget like God just very gently reminding me that, that's why he's got me in this business is for community and relationship, and shutting myself off isn't doing myself any good. And it's not doing anybody else any good. And so I kind of just decided a while ago, I'm fully aware of the fact that I'm putting myself out there and extending a hand to a lot of people that aren't going to take it, or to a lot of people that are going to say no thanks. And I'm not talking about prospecting. I mean people that are already in the business and then decide either not do it or put it down. I had a girl quit on me yesterday, and I've invested so much time. And there's that moment, like I did take 5 minutes and I was really sad, and I threw a temper tantrum for about right under 5 minutes. Like set a timer and then move on. I don't want to wallow in that and then miss the next person that's coming into my business. And so I feel like relationships, kind of letting your guard down a little bit, being willing in this business to know that you might invest a ton in people and you don't get to see this side of heaven, like what it's what that impact was going to make. But you have to do your job, and that's go out, be a light, do the very best that you can, show people every single thing that you've got within this business, hold nothing back. And what they choose to do with that is on them, right? And so I think that's part of it. And as far as building leaders, and then the other thing is just giving them that autonomy, and knowing that they don't have to be connected to me constantly. Like when I have a leader that says, I'm thinking of doing this, or I want to join this, or I'm like, go for it. I think that's amazing. Like, yes, little bird, go fly, spread your wings. There used to be such an ego about, well, I'm getting on this other person's Zoom, or I'm going to this other person's training. And I would just like, what am I not doing right as a leader? What do you mean you're going to them? What do you mean you need them and not me? My gosh, that's embarrassing to even say, but it's true. For a long time, I felt that way. It was that insecurity and feeling that lack. And so part of building leaders is realizing that like you're doing your job when they don't need you. That's the goal. I remember Pam telling me not too long ago, no, it was very long ago is what I meant to say, not too long after I started. And I was doing my first training. She said, you did everything. You showed up from beginning to end. You spoke, you set everything up. You did the Eventbrite. You did all of it, right? She said, the next one, you want to bring people up with you. And you're leading, but you want to bring them up with you, let them speak. And then the next one, you want to do it about half and half. The next one, you want to maybe introduce things and you might want to end it, but all through the middle is just your people. And then maybe you'll get to a point where all you do is end it. And then there's a point where you're standing at the back of the room, just watching your leaders kill it up on stage. She said, and that's the goal. That's where you want to be. That doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong, that you don't have time on stage. That means that they're killing it and you've duplicated yourself. And I'll never forget that. And so I try to think about that, not just with, speaking and stuff like that, but with, with them stepping out and doing their own things. It's a good sign. So, don't let your ego get in the way. Definitely build relationships, and then, believe in them to do stuff. Bring them in on the journey. Hey, this is what I'm doing today. Do you want to do it for me? Hey, I'd love to feature you here. Can you do this? Slowly passing those things off and building that trust and that autonomy, I think, is so important.
Awesome. Is this working better?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Tamika wants to know if you have a TikTok yet for your top knot, and I would actually like to know that as well, because we definitely need a how-to.
The fact that you even asked me, you guys, you don't understand, because this gets created about 1 out of every, I'm going to go 73 that I try. This kind of happens. I even walked out and my daughter was like, Mom, your top knot. I was like, thanks, it's fabulous, right? Like it worked today. But okay, let's do it. Here you go. I have no shame and I need to wash my hair really bad. And y'all, I have so much hair. So much hair. Okay. So I for my hair, a scrunchie is important. All right, here you go. We're gonna try it. Let's see what happens. This is ridiculous. Okay, I do this. I do like the side thing. And then I go like that. Kind of got it. Look, see, it's not sticking the same way it should. That didn't work. There you go. See, I told you. Like it sometimes works and it most of the time doesn't. So what are you gonna do?
Oh, thank you for that. I love you. You are the best.
Sure, well,
Sid-
you know what? You gotta try, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but it's not working. It's not.
Does anybody else have any questions that they would like to either put in the chat or unmute and ask Ashley?
She's ready for ya. There she is. That's ish. Okay, ish.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Meh. I don't know. Meh. No? Okay. Any other questions not related to? Hey, that's not.
Oh.
I'll just stand up here where you can't see. Look like a cone head. I can't. That's good. All right. Well,
I just want to 9 years is a really long time in network
Yeah.
marketing. And you say that you're still excited
Yeah.
waking up to work the business. Do you want to just speak a little bit about, because I've been in 6 years and I cannot see myself doing anything different, but do you want to just kind of speak on It Works in general? You started absolutely knowing nothing, and
Yeah.
just a little bit about the company and your journey and where you see yourself.
Yeah. Well, the fun thing about signing people up lately is I've been able to tell them, look, you're about to start working with someone that has the longevity, and it's rare to even find longevity in this business. But then on top of that, to find somebody that's still passionate about what they're doing, I do feel like that's incredibly rare to find. And I think, there's so many amazing people that joined this business before me and like right around the same time I did. And they're either not in anymore or they're like, just treading water. Like they haven't quit, but they aren't really working anymore. And it makes me sad. I think that the main tip that I've got for longevity in this business is continually trying something new and realizing that the minute you get one thing down, you're going to have to learn something else. And that might exhaust some of you. That might make you throw your hands up and go, well, then what's the point? I look at it like, my gosh, the last 10 years of my life, the amount of growth that has happened has been like on warp speed. And I don't say that with any kind of an ego. I actually say it very humbly, but I mean, I have friends that are older than me that there's areas of their life that are like, what? How do you not know? How do you not know that? Or how is that not just a part of your life now? But it's only been through this business and the growth and like the challenges that we face, I feel like give us opportunities for growth that other people will maybe never have in their lifetime, or they'll crumble under the pressure when they are faced with that trial, right? But like we just kind of have to face some of that stuff. So I think that part of it is just I'm obsessed with the growth. I'm obsessed with this business in the sense that it pushes me. Now this isn't out of my comfort zone, but it pushes me out of my comfort zone in so many ways. And so I love that. I love the challenge. I just know I'm not done yet. When you're done, like this is still where God has me. And multiple times through this business, Tamika, I have had to say, okay, God, like what's next? I know you've got something for me. I was feeling it even last year for a time, and come to find out it was this marriage course that I knew I was supposed to be doing. And I was like, where am I going to have the time to do that? And, God just did nothing but bless that. And so, I feel like it's not that I haven't thought, is my time done? Or is this over? Or, are the best years behind me? I've had multiple years of, wondering that and having that kind of be the mantra that Satan uses over in my head. But I love the growth. I love the people. I thought I'll just be so honest with you. I really thought that so much of my happiness and my excitement for the business came from Mark and Pam. And then whenever I watched them start shifting into new roles, I went, huh, okay, well, it's not that either. So, wow, I still have a fire and a passion for this business. And so I just think ultimately I'm obsessed with my own growth and watching other people grow. I really am. Like, knowing that any given day, my entire world could change with one phone call, like with one message, with one DM. Like, I don't know, that thrill seeker side of me is so satisfied with that. The fact that you can earn this kind of an income and this kind of a living, the fact that in 2021 I'm getting paid on work I did in 2011 is unfathomable to me. If you have a regular job, go in and ask your boss tomorrow, hey, I'm going to work really, really hard this week. And like in 2025, I just want you to still pay me for the work that I'm going to do this week. I'm going to work real hard, but I will work so hard. You'll even want to pay me in 2025. Like, you'd get laughed out. You'd get laughed out, right? And yet work I did in 2011 is literally still paying me. I still have people on my cab report from a party I did at the high school down the road in the teacher's lounge in 2011. Like, there's still people in my cab report from that one party. And you can't find anything like that. And I don't know where else I would go that so many parts of who God made me to be and the gifts that he gave me are like all used at once. You know what I mean? Like, this business is bigger than just making money for me now. At first, that's all it was. I will not lie to you. I was not a saint. I was very much a, where's the money? I want it now. And I don't really care about, like, oh, you're quitting. Okay, that's fine. Oh, you're not happy. I don't really care. Oh, I did not care. I did not care. It was very much about me, my success, and where I was going. And luckily, God broke me of that really, really fast and humbled me in a lot of ways. But yeah, I think just knowing that this journey is just so much bigger than me helps tremendously, because I truly feel like it's a ministry. It becomes something that's bigger than just my monthly paycheck, right? Because I've made more money than I'm making right now before, and I was 200 billion times more miserable than I am right now. So it's not just about the money. It's about watching people grow. So yeah, that's been another big part of it.
Love that. Thank you so much for sharing. We really appreciate you. And you know that I absolutely just adore and love you, and you make my days brighter. So at the end of this, we always like to do a little recap. And so if you want to stay on and hear all the takeaways that we have, you're more than welcome to. But if you want to hop off, you're welcome to hop off as well. But we really appreciate you guys. So
y'all are the best.
give Ashley some thank yous in the chat, everyone. We are so thankful.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm going to mute myself, and I may just like peep in, but not like, talk. Okay. Will that work? Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. I don't know how to mute myself. Oh, there I am.
I love it. Now no one's going to unmute because they're going to be like, what? No, just kidding. Her camera's off, you guys. She can't hear anything now. You can't see her. She can't hear anything. Just kidding. But oh my word. So amazing. Thank you, Kelly Jo, for setting that up. Biggest takeaways, either write them in the chat or I want to hear some people unmute. What are you going to implement into your business?
It's not duplicatable. Stop doing it. Is one of the things I love. And I love looking at it instead of always rebuilding and looking at it as a rubble, just to build.
Go ahead, Caitlin.
Exactly. And just chasing peace and going to bed proud of yourself and what you're doing. Find your measures of success to be you.
I agree with Mandy on the.
I think it's her spirit.
Hold on, Brianne. Cora's, and then we'll get you on the second one. Go ahead, Cora.
Yeah, no, that's why I muted myself.
Okay.
I agree with Mandy on the keep building, because it's really overwhelming when you think about it as like, oh, this entire leg's dead. I have to completely redo it, when I could just be thinking, hey, cool, let's keep building. It's not dead. It's still there. Keep it going.
For sure. Okay, go ahead, Brianne, and then Stephanie.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. No, I was just saying, for me, it's really her spirit that, you know, is really inspiring. And like you said, for her to be 9 years in and for her to still, you know, have that same gumph, has that same effort, have that same, you know, drive to keep wanting to go and keep wanting to build. And then the fact of the matter that she has, you know, a better relationship with God. And as she said, the business is not only just about making money now, to her, it's a ministry. That is something to like actually, that's something that I'm gonna actually, you know, keep to myself and remember that, you know, if I really want myself to flourish and if I really want my business to flourish, I have to not just make it about the asset of, you know, wanting to get money, because of course that is a goal, but to make it something that I truly believe in, make it become my own ministry.
Right. And I mean, I can so relate to that because when I first started this, you know, I was just teaching math, right? And now I'm like truly going down my passion of being able to like do fitness coaching like online, and that just came through the works. And like Ashley said, like now she's doing marriage counseling. And so, you know, to have this following and this connection and understand that this is a need that not just distributors have, but like her market has, and then have the platform and the tools and the income to be able to give back in that way, you know. And I see Mandy starting to do that with her mindset stuff and really expanding, you know, and that just happened 2 years ago or last year, I think it was, when she felt like one of her teammates needed some kind of mindset. And so she just was like, okay, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. And if those of you who guys have been in for a year, you've seen her kind of change and just evolve into something bigger and to something better until she's able to give it. And so it absolutely can turn into some kind of ministry, or just, you know, you grow into it. And I think that that's the most important thing, is if you want to have longevity in this business, you always have to be willing to grow, because otherwise you get tired of doing the same thing every day, and it doesn't bring you joy, you know. So you always have to have that growth. Stephanie, did you want to say, were you unmuted?
Yeah. So I agree with you, Tamika, like have the ability to always grow and learn something new is a big deal, but also something that hit me was the competitiveness that people put into this. There's no reason to compare, because you're you, and how someone else does it isn't always going to work for you. So make what works for you work for you. And don't worry that maybe someone in your downline is excelling because they found their niche and you haven't quite found yours yet. The comparison and the competitiveness is always going to be there, but don't let it define you.
Yes, I love that. That's a great takeaway. Anybody else?
Yes. I love how she said to find your peace. And that's one of the things I was talking with one of my pastors about this business. And that's one of the things that, sorry.
You're good.
That's one of the things that I was telling her, that, you know, this business, it's more than just a business. And like she said, it's a ministry. And how she found the marriage counseling after that, because that's kind of the field that I want to be in. And it's like it's actually family counseling that I want to do. And when I heard her say that, that was some of the things that was going through my mind. The reason why I started, you know, picking myself up and started getting into the business from last year to this year.
I love it. Thanks for sharing, Lorraine. Raina, did I see you unmute?
What caught me was when she said that, you know, basically being able to teach your downline to be successful. It's like having a kid. You want them to grow up, you want them to be successful, and you give them everything and hope that they run with it. So as moms, that's kind of how I think we all feel. So as we get our downlines going, just like we do our kids.
And I like starting them up for success before you even sign them. You know, what are you telling them that they're going to have to do? Because if you're telling them just make posts and send some messages and it's super, super simple, then when they get in and they don't want to do it, well, did you set them up for success before they actually started? And then for me, I mean, you guys know my greatest strength is also my greatest weakness, is I love creating systems and I love making things super easy for you. But if I don't make you work for it, then you don't get the you know, the tough skin or the skills. And so, you know, one thing that I'm going to be implementing is teach, you know, you need to copy and paste this. You need to screenshot me. I'm not just going to get you plugged into the boards. I'm not just going to get you plugged in. Like, well, let's work a little bit. Let's get your hands dirty. Let's get you stronger and mentally tough, you know, before we give you all of the answers and stuff. So I really like that. And the chill track or the fast track, anyone going to use that with their next distributor, and then really be like, all right, you want to do the fast track, then this is really what it takes. And expectation is that you are on the power hours, you are doing these things, you are sending the messages, you are making the post and doing the videos. If you want it, you just got to trust me and do it, right? And for those of you who are still not doing it, like, this is your sign. If you want it, choose the fast track today, and, you know, start planning and getting on the calls and doing those things. I mean, obviously you guys are on the call right now, but like, start planning to get on the power hours and start, you know, planning out your day. One aha that I had too this week is I fill out my planner on Sunday, and I just have been complaining the last 2 days that I'm just not getting my stuff done. I'm not getting my stuff done. And my husband said, well, it's because you're not planning in your stuff on your calendar. You see all of this white space, and so you're like, oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do that. Instead of being like, no, this hour block is meant for reach out messages. This hour block is meant for making TikToks. And so, like, me personally, I need to start filling in everything on my planner, because when I see the white space, that's when I get squirrel. That's when I start offering to do things, because I feel like I have time. And so being very, very specific on what I need to do. That had nothing to, I don't even know how I got down that rabbit hole, but I don't know. All right. Anybody else? We're about out of time today. Tonight.
I have some, Tamika.
Yes, please, Tasha.
So I really liked when she said that she doesn't want results like that. Yeah, I know it will come with consistency and everything, but I just really liked that, rather than mass enrolling everybody, but you're mass duplicating, so that you're not having to mass enroll, because it's just duplicating down as you go down. Does that make sense? But yeah, I just really like that.
Tamika, you have no sound.
Say okay next.
Next person can share, because Tamika is not vocal today.
See, I saw that you had unmuted. You can unmute and ask your question.
My question is does that fast track, like she's talking about, work for distributors and getting loyal customers as well? Or is that just for distributors?
So the fast track, what she's talking about is it's just how quickly you want to move through your business. So, and like how much, like, do you really want to be successful, or are we just going to kind of chill out and take things slowly? And so with the fast track, that's going to help you sign customers and distributors, sign more of them quicker, and move through the ranks quicker.
Oh, okay. I wasn't quite 100% sure about that until you clarified that.
And so if anybody's on this call right now too, and like maybe you've been on that chill track and you want to move to the fast track, message your enroller or message the person that you're working with and say, I'm ready for the fast track, let's go. And then they're going to tell you exactly what to do to get on that fast track and to build your business stronger, better, faster, and really get making the money and helping the people, because that's what we're about. So who knows what's going on with technology tonight, but good thing that we are all just so flexible and that this is what happens. But you guys, seriously, thank you for being on. Thank you so much, Ashley. Thank you, Tamika, for pushing us outside of our comfort zone and asking us to ask these top leaders to come and speak to us. And thank all of you for being on. And tomorrow is Friday, which means we have like the normal calls. You can check your PAC call sheet, and then make sure that you are hopping on Boom Zoom on Saturday morning because it's going to be fun. It's always fun. It's a great way to work your business a couple hours in the morning and then spend the day doing whatever you want to do. So I love you guys. I appreciate you all so much for being on, and go ahead and go shout Ashley out on social media. You can follow her. Do not send her friend requests though, please. You can follow her. You can tag her in your stories. She's amazing. She's really funny on TikTok. Like I said, she's hilarious. You guys know that. We'll catch you tomorrow.